Hey guys! So a few days ago I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw a bunch of anime glass painting videos, and so I thought I'll make one myself. This is my first time making this, so I did make a few mistakes, but you guys can learn from me and not repeat what I did. The materials you'll be needing are acrylic paint, a paint pen, and I'm using a Posca marker, paintbrushes. I got this detailed brush from Arteza a long time ago that they kindly sent to me, and the other big brush is from Daiso. And last but not least, you'll be needing a frame. The first thing I did was sketch out my design on Procreate, and if you don't want to do this, you can also print out a picture from Google or Pinterest. And the most important thing is to flip your image. You want to flip the image because when you're tracing it on glass, it's going to be mirrored. To make sure that the glass doesn't move around while I'm tracing it, I taped it down with some washi tape. This is also my first time using a Posca pen, so I was so excited for this. I just got started and I already messed up. I couldn't find a ruler, so for my second try I tried using washi tape and I was pretty confident that this was going to work, but spoiler alert, it did not. Luckily, I was able to find my ruler and I was finally able to create a clean line. Originally, I was planning to use Sharpie to trace my image, but I heard that Sharpie actually ends up smearing and it's also transparent. The Posca pen worked out so well, the lines were bold and it was really easy to draw. Also, if you mess up, you can use a toothpick or your nails and just scratch the paint off. Before you start to paint, you want to make sure that the other side looks good. So here's how mine looks like, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. It's a little wobbly, but I tried my best. Next, I'm going to get my Craftsmart acrylic paint and paint the highlights. When you're painting this, you want to work backwards. So you want to start off with the shadows and highlights, and then move on to the regular colors. If you're curious, the words I just filled in says Posca, which means peach in Korean. Now I'm adding these weird dots for the shading of the water. It's not realistic or anything, but I just added it for fun. As I mentioned earlier, if you make a mistake, you can simply just scratch it off with a toothpick. It doesn't necessarily have to be a toothpick, I just used it because I have it, but you can use any sharp object. The Posca paint actually came off really easily, but you might have to scratch harder for the acrylic paint. Right now I'm adding highlights to the top of the peach juice, and I'm going for a fizzy effect as if this is peach soda. Also, one thing to note is that since the Posca paint comes off pretty easily, you don't want to streak your paintbrush. Instead, I suggest dabbing motions so that you don't accidentally scratch off the outline. It also looks nicer if you glob on the paint because it creates a more solid color. Now I'm adding highlights and shadows to the peach character. It may be helpful to have a printed copy of all your shadows and highlights, that way you know that you're putting it in the right place. I forgot to show this on camera, but on the other side, the face actually ended up scratching off. And I was not about to start this all over again after spending a few hours on this. I just scratched it off around the face and tried to redraw it, but it looked awkward in the front, so I just ended up starting all over again. I was able to get this glass spotless again just by scrubbing it with a paper towel, and I did have to scrub really hard so it's not like it's going to peel off easily. Here's my second outline. It turned out worse than the first one. And with the power of editing, we're back to where we left off. I'm going back to the can and painting it with gray. And now we're on our final layer of paint. I was so ready to see the final results. I spent the entire day painting this, and then this happened. So yeah, after spending the entire day on this, I dropped my camera on it. And this is how it looks like in the front with the damage. It's not too bad, but it's unacceptable for this video. So I'm going to restart this once again. It was a little harder to remove the paint the second time around because it was really hard at the bottom. So I used scissors to help scrape it at first, and then I just used my hands afterwards. And voila, this is how it looks when it's all cleaned up. I didn't want to set up my lights again, so you guys can just enjoy this part of the video that's more like a vlog, I guess. I was watching a Korean drama on Netflix while doing this, so I didn't really do a good job on the line art. And now it's time for the final reveal. It's definitely not as exciting as those anime ones because this is a fairly simple drawing, but I love this so much because my style is a very cutesy style. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!